Let's bring in Frank Luntz from Los Angeles. There he is, the famous Mr. Luntz. We got a little interference on your Skype, whatever you're using, that's okay. You're talking, you still do your focus groups on a regular basis, right? Give me the
Correct.
headline. What are the folks seeing about America right now? What are they feeling?
Number one, they think that the economy is getting better, and they appreciate that there's more money in their paychecks. Number two is that their expectations about the future is positive. In fact, it's the most positive that it's been in a decade. Number three is that they still don't like Washington, and they still don't like Congress, and they still think that it's a swamp and they want it drained. And number four is that they are bitterly divided over Donald Trump, and it's less about what he does than how he does it. There is general consensus among more than a majority of the population that the economy is headed in the right direction and that decisions that are being made in Washington are good. They actually tend to like what Trump is doing. The criticism is how he's doing it. And that's the question, is whether that will have an impact on House and Senate races in November.
Okay. Does the media enter into the folks determining how President Trump is behaving? Because, as you know, the hate Trump media is very, very powerful in this country.
It's powerful, it's significant, and it's ongoing. It's 24/7.
Right.
And the thing that I've noticed, because I've tried to do it accurately, I've tried to measure voter sentiment and tried to analyze what people see and what they read, is that no one's willing to give Donald Trump a break. They analyze what he says before giving viewers the chance to actually see it. So they're poisoning the well before Trump ever has a chance to speak. Now, that said, Trump is giving them the ammunition. If you look at the tweets, call me a slime ball. Bill, the president has never done that before, certainly not in public. And the language that he used to describe his opponents is pretty strong, it's pretty harsh. But you can't argue with the numbers. The unemployment rate at 4.1%. Black and Latino unemployment at all-time lows. People who've been out of the workforce coming back in because they see opportunity. These things are happening on a daily basis. The tax cuts are having a significant impact on take-home pay. This is tax day after all. So you've got this balance. You've got the negativity towards Trump, the positive outlook towards the economy. The balance is not good for the GOP, but you can't say that they've lost it yet.
How closely is President Trump tied into the Republican Party?
Very closely. In fact, extremely closely. And people's attitudes towards Trump do have an impact on their attitudes towards Congress. That said, for Republicans to win a majority, they always have to take 60% of the independents. And right now, they're at about 52, 53%. For them to lose the majority, if they only capture a slight majority of independents, they lose Congress. That's where the battle is. The battle is over turnout. The battle is whether your core voters come out and vote, and whether independents vote for you or vote for the other side. Right now, the core on the Democratic side is much more motivated than Trump voters. In fact, they can't wait to vote. They're donating at record numbers. They're participating in all these local and statewide elections across the country. I said publicly on Fox that if the election were held today, Republicans would lose the majority. I still believe that.
In both houses, the Senate and the House of Representatives?
They lose the majority in the House, and they could definitely lose the majority in the Senate if you do a state-by-state comparison. But I want to clarify that. What Republicans do over economic issues between now and Election Day determine their future. If the economy continues to improve, if unemployment should get to 3.9, which is a distinct possibility, then it's really hard to see people throwing out the party that delivered them that economic success. Tone matters. Communication matters. Language that they use matter. The GOP has to focus its entire effort on the economic improvements. If it focuses on FISA, if it focuses on investigation, forget it. They will lose the majority.
All right, so it's a one-issue race for the Republicans. The Democrats are looked upon as a scattered far-left outfit right now. So, yes, I get the hate Trump thing. We want Trump out. We want to hurt him. We'll go to the polls and vote for Democrats so we can hurt Donald Trump. but I don't see a positive message coming out of the Democratic precincts. Is there one?
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. All of the language is, this is your chance to vote against the president. This is your chance to vote against the status quo. But that's all it takes in off-year elections. You don't have to vote for someone if it's an off-year election. You have to vote against. That's what turns people out. And the Republicans have to face the fact that Democrats don't have to provide an alternative. They simply have to galvanize people.
Right. Enough hate. Final question for you. If Robert Mueller continues on this madness cycle, will there be a backlash among independents that you rightly said are the vital component of the election in November? Will independent people go, look, enough's enough here. This is insane. Now he's got Stormy, whoever, and she's running around. I just think that people, even Democrats, they've had enough. They just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Well, you're half right. There would be a backlash. But the backlash, and by the way, to viewers who are looking at where I am, I'm at Tocaya, a brand new Mexican restaurant in Century City. I know I look like I'm in prison or a locker room, but I want to explain that, no, the door does open.
You're with the folks, but they're legal immigrants, right? They're not illegal in the restaurant, right? They're legal.
That is correct.
Okay.
I would not mess around with that. But there will be a backlash. But the backlash will come among Trump voters that were disillusioned, that didn't feel like they got all that they were voting for, and they felt that Congress didn't produce enough to justify their reelection. Those are the people who will stand up for Donald Trump. And in fact, Donald Trump is going to determine who wins in Congress. If he goes out and says to his voters, I need this from you. We do not need impeachment. We do not need Nancy Pelosi. We do not need Chuck Schumer. What we need is a Republican majority. If he does that, he'll make a difference.
He'll definitely be out on the road. It's just a matter of how crazy this Mueller thing gets. I mean, it's crazy right now, and it could get worse. Hey, Frank, I really appreciate it. You go back to your tostadas, and have a margarita on me, all right?
Tocaya, and I'll have 2 on you.
All right, Frank, thanks again. We appreciate it.